Next, children in Ethiopia are finding their life chances stolen away by a combination of famine, conflict, and forced displacement. The UN Education Program, Education Cannot Wait, is seeking to redress the problem, which is widespread. The number of out-of-school children in Ethiopia as a result of these emergencies has spiked from 3.1 million to 3.6 million in just the last 6 months. That figure, according to UNICEF. The recent conflict in Afar, Amhara, and Tigray displacing families from their homes. Ongoing violence in parts of Oromia causing further civilian displacement. Well, let's get more on this. Joining us from Addis Ababa is Graham Lang, Director of the UN Education Cannot Wait Programme Ethiopia. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Your organisation has reached already over 250,000 children in Ethiopia. Just how big is the problem? Give us an idea of that scale.
Thanks very much, Mark, and thanks for the opportunity to speak to you this evening on this critical issue. So Education Cannot Wait, as you said, we are the UN's global fund for emergencies and protracted crises. What we're seeing in Ethiopia at the moment is one of the largest education crises globally. As you said, we have seen at the moment there are 13 million out-of-school children across Ethiopia, according to the government. And as you said, of those, 3.6 million are out of school directly as a result of forced displacement or climate-induced emergencies. And that's increased dramatically over the last 6 months from 3.1 million, as you mentioned earlier. So the scale of the problem is immense, and it's unfortunately increasing. And that was the reason for our visit, was really to get a sense of those needs on the ground and to understand how Education Cannot Wait and its partners respond.
Indeed, education gives everybody the chance to move on in their lives and create something for themselves, and it is essential. You've invested something like 55 million in Ethiopia since 2017. That might seem like a lot of money to someone like me, but from your perspective, I imagine this is nowhere near enough.
No, it's not. And that's the role of Education Cannot Wait as the global fund for education in emergencies and protracted crises, is shining a spotlight particularly on these protracted, on these forgotten crises, because frankly, the funding is completely insufficient. What we saw on this mission this week is we saw solutions. We saw the tremendous work that our partners, UNICEF and Save the Children and their local partners, are doing on the ground on a range of aspects to ensure that children impacted by these crises are able to go back to school. So we saw these solutions. We saw tremendous increase in the number of children accessing education facilities. But what we're not seeing, and we don't see it in Ethiopia, and we're not seeing it globally, we're not seeing the funding that we need to back up and to scale up and to reach these children impacted. And to put it very bluntly, we will not achieve the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which is on education, if we don't start with these children and adolescents impacted by forced displacement and by climate change. We just simply will not achieve it. And to do that, and Education Cannot Wait, we are trying to raise at least $1.5 billion over the next 4 years as part of our strategic plan to reach at least 20 million children and adolescents impacted by crises globally. And to do that, in February next year, we have a high-level financing conference in Geneva, Switzerland, where we're inviting donor governments, private sector, other individuals to come together to help mobilize efforts towards this 1.5 billion that's so badly needed to reach these children and adolescents in such terrible crises.
Graham Lang, thank you very much indeed. We need to leave it there. Thank you so very much for giving us an idea of what the scale of the problem is in Ethiopia and what you're doing to try to redress this problem for children there. Thank you so very much indeed.